What's up, guys, and good morning. Here we go again. I'm gonna try to channel some orange energy, but you can also bring in some more red. Today is Magnetic Launch Day. It's a system of time in the Mayan time codes, 13-day cycles of time. So the cycle started over today in White World Bridger, Magnetic World Bridger. The cycle ended yesterday in day 13, Cosmic Serpent. So I track the Mayan time codes because I think it's fun, but I also think it's kind of valid. Like every day I tune into the energy of the day. I do kind of feel it every single day. In human design, I'm a 3-5 projector. Maybe projectors feel the energy of the day more, maybe not. Maybe everybody can feel it, maybe nobody feels it. Anyways, that's kind of besides the point. Today, I'm going to try to convince you that outreach and outbound and your pitch is really the only thing that actually matters when it comes to making money on school. Okay. Everybody's on school for a different reason. For some people, it's fun. For some people, they like the community feeling. Maybe it's interesting or supportive or energizes you, or I don't know. I mean, that's another poll I could ask everybody, like, why are you on school? But I polled everybody in DMs. Like 2 or 3 more people responded. So, about 35% responded. So that's pretty great. More than a third even responded to the DM. I think that's pretty good. I'd be curious if you polled your entire group, what percentage would respond, immediately or within a day. But yeah, so it's kind of like percentages on percentages on percentages. Like you're gonna have some people that unfollow you and they only check the group like every once in a while. They might not even log on to school every day. That's another poll. How active are you on school? Like how do you check once a day, several times a day? I'm on school all day long. Okay, I'm constantly on school. School is my income and career. Is my job. But okay, 80% of people, school is kind of a hobby, their school group. In the red, in the masculine, I can attack and say that's never going to get you full time, because in a way that's the truth, but that might not exactly be the reason why someone's on here. So, I have to speak to people who are also still just needing support. But at the same time, I'm also true to my values and my core beliefs. My core beliefs, guys, and what I'm going to try to convince you in this video, if you watch the whole thing, is outreach and outbound is really the only thing that dictates how much money you make, like, period, as an entrepreneur or on school. So I've had multiple businesses. I would make a lot of money, guys, and then I would have a surplus of cash on the month, and then I would just take a lot of time off, but I would continuously like launch my energy, and any time that I needed to like start making more money, it would always materialize and manifest when I just started going like really red, like all of a sudden, like, I don't know, I've done it so many times, like so many cycles of like launch, make money, rest, launch, like, every single time that I need to make more money, you just launch with a lot of red energy, or me personally. And then like business would literally like magnetically manifest. Like people would text me. I always knew that it was because of my red energy specifically. That's what was stimulating the market. That's what I believe gets money the fastest, you know, than any other color or any other chakra. So if that's the truth, then why not use red all the time? And then why use orange? Community, though, is different because 80% of people are not actively scaling, intensely scaling, full-time effort, everything you've got kind of a effort, right? 80% of people still just want the community vibes. They want the community support. So this is why it's been a little bit, not difficult, but like different. You have to remember that it's a social like club and community, like it always is going to be. I don't have to use orange. I don't have to try to balance out the energy of my group. But by doing so, I believe that that's me being, conscious and, trying to give to my group, like trying to truly serve people, even though they may not even be ready to like launch hard. Like the product that I sell is for people who want to launch extremely hard and get their next client or make more money on Skool. Work together with me and we're going to make more money together. That's a very specific person. That's less than 20% of people on Skool, So 20% of people on Skool like actually want this to be a career and a full-time thing and are like in their mind saying like, I really want to make this my primary thing, right? 80%, I'm here for the vibes. I'm here for the support. I do want that, but I'm still figuring things out. So if I was to pull everybody in here, which side of that are you on? Are you in the 20% or are you in the 80%? Okay, of that 20%, another 80% of that 20%, like, yes, I would like this to be my full-time thing, but, they have another job, they struggle with commitment, they're not really doing any lead gen. They're kind of like perpetually just in limbo. Like they want to grow, but then like they just kind of like get distracted. You know what I mean? Like I can be a rager crazy person and, intensely attack, you know, like you can attack 96% of people, but then 96% of people are going to like leave your group, right? Like it's really only about 4% of people on Skool that are like intensely committed to the launch. I feel like it's really only that 4% of people or someone that wants to be in that 4% that will probably hire me at a high ticket price to do business coaching is really me helping you drive that energy to maximum of performance. Because my assertion is that that's what you need to succeed in life, period. That's how I scaled every single one of my businesses. That's how I pulled in 4-figure plus days. It is an intense pace that the market responds to. I got 60 members in my first month-ish. I churned about 10 people. They say 15% is average, so that is actually average. 15% of 60 is 9. I think I've churned about 9 people. A couple of them were bots, this or that, whatever. So, okay. But I'm at 59 now. We're about to go into the 60s. I'm like, oh, thank God. I've been in the 50 member range for a while. It just kept like, I would get new people and then it was churning, But I really do want the intention to be like, I'm here to play and I'm here to win. Like my group is designed to attract the top 4% of producers on Skool. It's designed to be a top 4% in elite group. I am designed to be an elite individual. I have pushed myself to an elite standard and pace, and that's why I've made much more money than the average person. Okay? So I'm trying to tell you that the red color to me symbolizes commitment. That's really like all it really is. It symbolizes commitment. when I don't want to wake up early. It's 6:45. I did not want to wake up at 6. I was in REM. I was having this weird dream. I've had reoccurring dreams of my nemesis in high school. And, he was always good at everything. He was a valedictorian. I don't know why I have dreams of him. Probably because in my subconscious mind, like, he's the Vegeta or Goku, the person that I always compared myself to. His parents were pretty wealthy, but he's smart, but I think I'm actually smarter than him. But he worked extremely hard and he just studied like so much more than I did. And I just never cared about school, So I've had reoccurring dreams of him, Clayton. I don't know why, bro. I have all these dreams about you. I think because you were the one that was like supreme in high school. And I think that just like really bothered me, like I wanted to be supreme, but I also didn't want to be supreme. I hated high school. I never studied. I was top 5% by being like a total slacker, like honestly almost never studying. I wouldn't even listen in class. I would be totally zoned out. And then I would just like get my friends to like teach me whatever I needed to learn. And then I'd make an A on the test. My standard was not getting a 90. It's like, as long as I get an A, that's good enough. So, I was an A student, but I was a slacker of an A student. So, yeah, our alarm clock goes off at 6. I'm in REM sleep. Like, that's when you're feeling like totally discombobulated. Like, you don't even know where you are when you wake up. And, just get up, dude. Just get up, man. My discipline is perfect. I've been waking up at 6, for the past like 2 months straight. Why? Because it's time to grind. Sometimes I'll sleep in till like 8 if I can afford it. And if I have like money, then you can afford to have a little bit of, leeway. But for the most part, guys, like it's a activation mode. It's a blitz mode. You're consciously saying like, I'm going to go into launch mode. I can only really help people who consciously want to be in a launch mode. How long can I sustain this intense effort without burning out? I think you can sustain it for about 30 to 60 days, but there may be a little bit of periods of burnout, and that's fine, but I'm basically trying to condition you to be in your root chakra and use this red color for like 60 days straight. That's really what I'm trying to sell. And I think that if you do that, you will not only make your money back that you invest with me, but you'll carry a lot of extra momentum into your business. You need to look at your school community as also a business that's going to pay you full-time income, So I'm targeting like 4% of people on school that not only want school to be their main source of income and to make this digital marketer kind of nomad dream come true, but they're willing and desiring a blitz, like a 60-day blitz. If we can sustain this for 90 days, even better. But I think 60 days is, for the average person, like you can go hard for 60 days. You're going to probably start burning out after about 30. Then you recalibrate, and then you try to go another 30 days. So I'm blitzing another 30-day, cycle. I launched like beginning of January, like hard. And then I started burning out like February 7. I had to take a bit of like a week. Like I didn't take a week off, but I had to kind of slow down, change my energy, switch to like a healing energy, and just kind of, I started getting like really crazy because like I was burning out and I was suffering and I was trying to force productivity, but I was suffering to the point of like running on this kind of negative energy. So you don't have to run on negative energy. You can certainly just run on positive discipline, but it's kind of the same vibe though. Positive or negative red is still red. Like, dude, there's things that need to be done. It is kind of an aggressive and assertive energy because the default is I'm tired. I just want to sleep in, I'm working this job. Like people are mentally checked out. Most people are only like 40% mentally engaged throughout life, even throughout their job. Like, and people make decent money, but their brain's like not even turned on fully, because they don't actually want to do it. It just is a means to an end for the money or for the lifestyle, or they don't mind doing it, but it doesn't truly activate them. Like, it's not their dream. They desire something better. So guys, I'm trying to convince you that all you have to do to level up in a like cataclysmic way, tectonic way, like a humongous level up, you just have to blitz hard for about 60 to 90 days. And you can really, you're trying to make this your full-time income. You're trying to make this a permanent switch, It comes in bursts of like 2 to 3 months, really. And if you can go hard, then you may even be able to pull in like full-time income after only like 3, maybe 6 months. If you work with me for 2 or 3 months, then we're gonna drive this thing as hard as possible to get your next client. I could sell at a cheaper price, like $500, but that's not enough commitment, in my opinion. I think you really need to commit for like 60 to 90 days. Like, you have to really want this to happen. So I need people who have a strong desire, have a strong intensity. Okay, for everybody else, welcome to stay in the group, hang out. But, if school is not your number one priority, then I have to prioritize the people that are prioritizing, the launch. And that's up to you, man. It's quite simply every day we have 16 hours. How much time do we have to work on school besides, spend time with the family and cook and, whatever, go to work? Okay, and then what about the weekends? Like, if you want to make the switch in your full-time, capacity, then you're going to have to really burn it. Like, the momentum, in my opinion, is the number one priority. It's more important than your offer. It doesn't matter. The market's going to validate any offer. You just need to get busy. You don't have to get crystal clear on your offer, man. You have to commit that this is actually what I want to do with my life. That's really the mental shift. People are stuck. 96% of people are stuck, and they may say, well, I'm not stuck. I'm just, doing this in my own time. I'm like, that's fine. But me, I am kind of an all or nothing person. If you're not all in on this, then, okay, we don't have to say you're stuck, but we can say it's just not a priority right now. You have other things going on in your life, okay? That's fine. I can respect that. But I'm prioritizing the people who really want to launch. There's only 2 people in my group right now who really want to launch. There's another 2 that I think they do, but they still have to figure some things out. So there's 4 people that come to mind, and these are 4 of the 18 people who replied to my DMs. 4 of you guys, 10%, me as the 5th, yeah, I think it's about 10% of your group are going to be committed. I think 5% of your group are going to be super fans. I think 20% will be loosely engaged, another 5 people. I actually had 35% people respond, but of that 35%, I would say probably 10 to 15% of that, they only responded because I DM'd them, but they don't really check my group that often. So I think these numbers are consistent. Maybe a third of your group is warmish to you. That lines up with the data, but maybe only about 20% are more engaged. About 10% are really engaged. And then 5%, which will only be 2 or 3 people in my group, are hardcore. They don't have to be super fans hardcore attached to me, but hardcore in the terms of this is a business mastermind. They really want to succeed in their business and in their life, and they really want to launch. So I would say 2 people come to mind. I won't say their names, just, but I think you kind of know who they are already. You see the ones that have been posting and commenting a lot. But yeah, so I think the problem with a lot of people on school is they're trying to turn that, 60%, that 80% of people that are kind of lurkers, they're trying to like force them to participate and they're trying to make them active. It's like, bro, these percentages are like kind of like universal frequencies. You don't need to change the universal frequency. You just need to be aware of the frequency and you got to get new people in. Once you do a DM campaign, once you message everybody in your group, whoever responds, you can tell like who's interested in your energy or working with you or not. You can tell the people that are responding, you know? So once you've talked to them and you kind of figured out where they're at, there's nothing left to really say to these people. Like, either they have a curiosity in working with you or not. At that point, you've exhausted your DM campaign. I will try to only do a text blast, maybe only every 2 or 3 weeks. I find that that's acceptable. On school, I think that's fine, every 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm usually asking them questions. I'm usually polling them because their opinions matter to me and it's useful information. Hey, just checking in, like, how's everything going with school? What have you been up to lately? Any exciting new developments? That's all you have to say, guys. Hey, just checking in, like, how's your month been going? Are there any exciting new things going on in your life? Anything you'd be curious to chat about? That's literally all you have to fucking say, guys, in a DM. Like, it's not rocket science, nor is it pitching them. You don't pitch them right off the bat. You have a rapport with them. And if the conversation is flowing back and forth, and it seems like they're expressing like a desire in my situation, since it's business coaching, if they're expressing a desire to just like really hit it, then that's a warm lead. Okay, well, I would love to run hard with you. Like, all it is just an invitation to work together. That's it. Put our minds together and work together. Now, oftentimes they may want to do that for free in the capacity of a mastermind. And you should be okay with doing a mastermind with people in the beginning. And then, you get to really know them. If they're willing to do a collab call or a mastermind call with you, then you can really get to know them on that call. They're saying, I want to spend more time with you. I'm just not sure, or I may not have the money yet. Okay. Or at least I value you to run with, but I'm not sure. Let's just see what happens, right? It's not a no. You got to stop looking at it as a rejection. Like, all right, let's run. Let's roll it, For one person, I think they need to just be comfortable raising their price. I think they could sell at 2 or 3,000. For another person, I think they just need to commit to their outreach strategy. They're just not doing it enough. They're not tracking their daily outreach. You have to track your stats if you really want to get a sale. I've had about 3 to 5 people interested in hiring me in my first month of school. This is all through a community, guys. I'll say that's fucking phenomenal. Okay, yeah, I wanted to close at least 1 or 2, but whatever. It doesn't, whatever, man. I'm here to win long term. It doesn't matter. I will do what it takes to win. I will never stop going. Do you understand? This is the commitment of excellence. And many of you guys just aren't committed. It's not a priority. So it's a little frustrating to me. Like, I still appreciate you guys and I still want your support in my community. And I don't want to push you too hard and act crazy. But it's like, I know that you just have not decided in your mind, I am really gonna go for this, versus it's kind of a hobby and I'd like it to work out, but I'm still just trying to figure things out. Like people are stuck on that, and they will be stuck on that for years. They will be stuck in that level for like 2, 3, 4 years. I started coaching like 4 years ago, and I did get couple clients like very quickly, but I got burnt out. So, sometimes you come back to it. Sometimes it's just timing. The timing wasn't right. You have other things in your life going on. So it's like, I'm mindful of that. You may just want to hang out and like stay in the group. And like I have to be okay with that and not attack that person. So I'm not attacking that person. I'm supporting that person. Totally fine, man. Pull up a chair. We're going to eat dinner in about 2 hours, have a beer. We're going to have this party. I want my group to feel more like a communal dinner, cookout, okay, barbecue. You're welcome to come hang out, okay, but we have a private event going on that's invitation only. So everyone's invited to the outdoor party, but if you want to come to the after party, that's the people that are hustlers. I only really want to personally associate with driven individuals and successful individuals. You may say that's stuck up or elitist, but how many times have you heard you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? You have to be selective because otherwise other people's habits may interfere with your momentum. Many people do not really have much of a momentum, is what I'm trying to say. I am driving this momentum 12, 14 hours a day. That is a mantra that I have burned into my mind. 12, 14 hours a day, I'm going to win. 12, 14 hours a day, I'm going to win. Now, what does that look like on school? Honestly, guys, 2, 3, maybe even 400 outbound comments, I'm going to win on school. That's what the 12, 14 hours converts. Everything converts upon converts upon converts upon converts. It's all percentages of conversion. That's what you understand in marketing and sales, even email marketing. Click through response rate, opt in, sign up, schedule the call, close the call. That's how you make money. Okay, so I could say 12, 14 hours, but what the fuck did you do in those 12 to 14 hours? Okay, so like first it's a willingness to just max out your schedule. Then it's, are we actually doing the right things? And then finally, are we doing enough of the right things every day? If you are doing enough of the right things every day, you're going to succeed. You're going to have a successful business. You will make full-time income. I've done this in many businesses in my life. It required me to commit. You got to really fucking go for it, man. And you got to have the stamina and you got to have the discipline. And masterminds and coaches and mentors and successful friends will help you. But if you're not on their level, then why would they want to, merge with you one-to-one if eventually they're going to outpace you? If eventually you're going to slow down, then, if you start slowing down, why would they want to sacrifice all of their energy and momentum to help you when you stopped running? Do you know what I mean? You stopped running. As long as you don't stop running, I'm not going to stop running with you, right? But if you stop running, then I'm sorry, man. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to win this race, bro. We're still racing. You slowed and stopped. That doesn't mean I'm not your friend because I slowed down with you and cracked open a beer. Okay, well, sorry, man, but I was training longer than you. I want this more than you, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to win the race. So, you have to have a certain amount of intensity and desire, is what I'm saying, if you really want to succeed on, not just on school, guys. It's also like fucking in life, period. If you want to be a winner in life, you got to stop hanging out with people who distract you. You got to stop making all these excuses. You got to stop watching so much TV and playing video games. If you want to be a fucking man that someone will respect, that a woman would want to be with, I mean like an actual woman, not like a silly girl who's just impressed because you're popular and handsome. I'm saying like an actual quality person, whatever your gender is or sexual preference, I'm just saying I'm a heterosexual guy. But so for me, the kind of man that I want to be, that a woman would desire, I want to be that. That's a man of excellence. He's a man of discipline. He's not fucking around spending money at the club chasing these thoughts. He's going to bed early and he's working and he's building his kingdom. He's building his dream. He's making his dream come true. Okay? There is an intensity in me, guys, because I want it. I want it badly. Okay? And I'm willing to sacrifice. The more you sacrifice, the more you want it and the more you expect to have it. It's like, because in your mind, it's like, dude, I am waking up so early. I am giving this everything that I have. I'm sacrificing so much. I don't have a social life except for on school. I'm not playing video games. I'm not watching TV. I'm constantly working. Then your subconscious mind begins to expect success. Why? Because it's painful, bro. I'm not having any fun. I'm just working all the time. But you know what? It's going to be fucking worth it. It's going to be fucking worth it. And then I'll be extremely proud of myself, right? Pride is much more important to me than fun. Having fun is fine, but I want to be proud of myself. Do you understand? Having fun is okay every once in a while on my days off, on my time off, but I'd rather not have to take time off. I want to go 100%, right? I want the result. I want the achievement. So I'm just trying to show you my intensity. Why are you so intense? Why do you want this so badly? Why do you care so much? Because, guys, I'm able to manipulate my own emotions and I manipulate my own pain and suffering. It's unbearable to live in America. I don't want to be in America. I want to be a digital nomad and live anywhere I want to live in the world. It's become unbearable. I don't want to be in Austin. It's a decent city. The people are nice, but they're distracted and they're corporate. They're all corporate tech and, they all feel extremely suppressed and they're all kind of burnt out because they're not living a life that they love. The people that live lives that they love, they're in Bali, they're in Thailand, they're in, Vietnam, they're traveling, they're in Costa Rica, they're in Nicaragua, they're living that nomad expat dream. They're free. They don't have to pay taxes, they're free. This is the group of people that I want to be with. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be chained to a country, chained to taxes. Why? So they can spend it on the dumbest shit in the world. Meanwhile, the price of groceries continues to go up every year. It's ridiculous. The debt is now like what, $30 trillion or 300, something fucking absurd. $300 trillion. Like the richest person in the world could not even pay for 0.3% of our country's debt. That's fucking ridiculous, dude. Okay. And who are we even in debt to? You gotta ask that question. What are the interest payments on that? Where are those interest payments going? Yeah. Imagine having a country paying you interest payments every month. $300 trillion. So they're getting like $1 trillion in interest payments. Where the fuck is that money going? What do you even do with that much money? Trillions upon trillions. What would you even do with that? I mean, what the fuck? You can buy anything that you want. I don't know. I think money begins to become meaningless. It's not money that drives me, guys. It's excellence and it's the pursuit of a higher goal. Yes, it's freedom. It's freedom that's driving me. So what do I have to do? I have to sacrifice. Sometimes you need to set a deadline, set a goal. My lease is ending in June, so that's the deadline. May 31st, that's the deadline. Get to Asia. Okay, what's required for me to hit that goal? You're probably gonna have to do 300 outbound comments a day. Okay, you're looking for people who want to run in the top 5% of school, who really want to make the switch and make a lot of money and hit that rocket. Of the top 4% that's really fucking going for it, only about 20% of those people, which is now 0.8%, are actually going to do more than like 10, 20K a month. So when you look at people like Goose or David or any of these emojis, they are already in the top 1% of people, of school owners. Do you know what I mean? That is a superior and elite flex. That is much more exaggerated because that's not exactly the same as like people who just have high paying jobs. But the fact that you can do it on your own anywhere in the world from your content, from your brand, that is a superior flex. I would rather have 10K a month from school than work some fucking job and make 50K a month. I would take the 10 and have total time and location freedom. I would. It's an elite and superior flex, guys. You should really try to earn the favor of those people who are already succeeding on a massive level. All right, anyways, that's my episode today. I want you to see my passion and I want you to see my drive. It's because I've always been a driven person. It's a standard that I am a superior human being. I am an excellent man. Okay, why are you a superior man? Just because you work hard? I am a superior man because I do what I tell myself to do, and most people don't. That's what it is. I am capable and willing to do what I tell myself to do. And so many people just struggle with this and they procrastinate and they slow down and they get tired and they burn out. And I don't. Okay. And then you can say, well, good for you. We don't have as much energy as you have. First of all, that's a fucking lie. Yes, you do. You just don't prioritize. You just don't want it bad enough. If you don't want it bad enough, you need to be around people who want it bad enough. You need to be around people who have a high level of desire. You will become like the people you surround yourself with. You will absorb their personality and their energy. You're just surrounding yourself with minimalists. I'm not going to say losers, because that hurts people's feelings, but it's like, dude, you can't surround yourself with people who have no dream. They have no dream. They have no desire. They have no discipline. They have no motivation. What are you good for if you don't have those things? They're a nice person. They love me. Bro, my fucking cat loves me, okay? It's like, I don't need a human being to love me. I love myself. I have 2 cats. They give me plenty of love. I gotta possibly have a girlfriend in China, although it's, an internet relationship. But she's adorable. I really like her. We're gonna meet in a few months, but who knows? Maybe it doesn't work out, but the fantasy is fun, right? The mystery and the suspense and the fantasy is fun. Could this actually be something good? Could this actually work out? So I don't know, man. You need a dream, you need a goal, you need something to look forward to. You need elite people in your life. You got to stop settling, man. You got to stop settling on less than who you really are. My entire life purpose is about becoming your ultimate self. Whether you call that your higher self or your divine self or your alter ego. Dude, the highest version of myself is succeeding massively with a digital marketing and social media business, becoming an agency owner. I want to be able to sell an agency like Hormozi did. It has to become big enough and valuable enough that someone would pay for it. Okay, so I stack all of these big goals because that's my identity, right? That's the kind of man that I am. I am that. I am a guy that can sell an agency and build an agency. I am a guy that can hit these emoji ranks. And what does that require, right? You tell the universe what you want, and then the universe translates that into daily actionable steps. Then you need to be going 12, 14 hours a day. If you want this to actually happen anytime soon, you need to go as hard as you can, right? But what if I burn out? But blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up, dude. Just fucking do it. You're not going to burn out. If you burn out, then take a week off, okay? Just shut up, dude. Just fucking do it. You are just unwilling to commit, right? You have not developed a powerful mind. You're just not willing to do it. That's what really fucking irritates me about human beings. I hate to be too negative, but it bothers me when people say they want something really big, but their actions prove otherwise. That's what bothers me. It bothers me when people say, oh yeah, I totally want time freedom for my family. They're sold on the dream, but they're refusing to do the work. That's the kind of person that really fucking pisses me off. You are a liar. You are a liar and you're a coward and you're a lazy person. Okay, I still, I'm always going to have this personality. I'm always going to have this intensity. I'm trying to be nicer to you guys, but dude, I'm saying that I'm destroying that version of ourselves that we all have from time to time. I'm telling you that that's not you. That's not who you are. You are not a quitter. You are not a bullshitter. You are not someone who just procrastinates. You know what I mean? I want to destroy that person in you because that's not really you. That's what they call the not self, the shadow self. That's not actually you, bro. You are the unlimited, glorious fucking champion. You are the unlimited, elite warrior, savior of human, savior of Earth, heroes of Earth, all my Super Saiyans. Come on, guys. That's not you, bro. You are an elite warrior. You are better than this. You need to fucking prove that you're better than this, man. Okay? So, I've DM'd my list. I've already talked to all you guys, whatever. If you want to work together, cool. If not, whatever. Hang out, stay in the group. I'm adding new people. I am furiously driving to 100 members. We'll probably be able to hit that, hopefully before March, but maybe, beginning of March. Then we got to get to 200. Every new member is a potential lead, is a potential mastermind, is a potential supporter and superfan. You just haven't found them yet. They're all out there. Hey, come find me. They're all out there. I'm waiting to be discovered by you. I'm waiting to be invited by you, but I don't know you exist yet. Dude, we got to find them, right? And how do you find them faster than anyone else? You do the most reps. Guys, you're not even talking to fucking like 10, 20 people a day. What are you doing, bro? You don't even have a business. You are a fake. You are a liar. That's not you, right? Come on. You need to talk to like at least 100 people a day, guys. You need to comment on at least 100 comments a day. I think 200 is enough to make full-time income. I think 300, you will do it in blazing speed, okay? 100 minimum, part-time, slowly. 200 people a day, comments a day, guys. Come on. What the fuck else are you gonna do, dude? You make content and you talk to people. You're not talking to enough people. Your content's not that cool, man. Okay? Make better content, viral content, pinned content. Talk to 300 people a day, 300 people a day. Make my fucking dream come true. Every hour of the day that I have, I'm willing to work 12, 14 hours a day. Even if I have other jobs, even if I have other shit to do, it doesn't matter. Just maximize your output. The universe is going to reward you handsomely, right? The universe is willing to give us what we truly desire, but they're asking us to give our very best. You have to decide, am I really giving my very best right now? Or am I just full of shit? Okay? Much love, guys. Hope you have a good day. And who's actually running hard? I want to know. Who's actually running hard on here? Is it just me? I think only about 4 of us are actually running very hard right now. Everybody else taking a nap? Where you at, dude? Come on, where you at?